Good afternoon. This is Ken Sylvester. I'm here today with my co-host, Robin Alexis, on the Believe Me Movement podcast. And today we are talking about crop circles and talking to our good friend, BeNe. Robin, are you ready?
I am. Thank you for having me with you today. It's always a delight. So where are we going to start this today? We're going to try to talk to BeNe or to a crop circle first, Ken?
Let's talk to BeNe first.
Okay, and for people who are just listening to us for the first time, will you tell people who BeNe is that we're going to be talking to?
BeNe is an alien from the Evens, E-V-E-N-S. They have made first contact with us at Roswell, and since then have visited us many times, 3-4 times that I am aware of, and it's in the book. He's in the book with 4 documented cases of different times that they have landed. And today we want to ask him about the crop circles.
Oh, we're going to ask BeNe about the crop circles. Okay, I like that plan. And
Yes.
For people who are listening, the book is We're Not Alone, and Here's the Proof. It's available on Amazon and any place you purchase your books. And it is written by Ken Sylvester. He is a best-selling author on Amazon. And I just love hearing everything that Ken knows about extraterrestrials and UFOs, etc. So let's see what BeNe has to say. What kind of questions do you have?
Well, the first question for BeNe is when I find the crop circles, I am printing it, I'm looking at it, what am I looking for?
BeNe says you're looking for an activation, so you would feel it in your cellular structure, meaning that someplace in your body that correlates to the same alignment of a frequency, that it would activate that cellular presence. So say, for example, your liver is an organ constructed of a cellular composition. And he says that some of the crop circles might be a liver activator, where the original intention of what a liver was supposed to do in the body would become even more activated. So now he's talking about stem cells. He's saying that there's certain stem cells in the human body that have not been activated yet, and that these stem cells are intergalactic in nature, and that they haven't found like a road map between the intergalactic stem cell and the human stem cell. So sometimes when you gaze at a crop circle, what will happen is there'll be an adamantine particle activation that will build a bridge between the intergalactic stem cell and the human stem cell. And then that creates a whole different shift in what you'll experience in your body.
Okay, and the best way is just to kind of stare at the crop circle?
Yes, he says that they're good to meditate with, that he's really pleased that you printed it out and that you're taking your time looking at them. He suggests that, you only look at one maybe a day that you've printed out and really listen to your body. And he says that he knows that you and Robin have purchased and will receive shortly in the mail mala beads, and that the crystal we selected was lapis lazuli. He says that's a particularly good crystal for the mala beads to be holding or wearing while you're gazing at the crop circle, because it will allow for the stem cells to open more easily and communicate in, through, and around the body.
Okay. And is there any particular mantra or what I would say while I have the beads and looking at the crop circle?
Well, he's saying some people say namaste. Namaste, according to BeNe, means I see you and you see me. And so for us to chant either Namaste or I see you and you see me, we are acknowledging that we are unique unto ourselves, but we're also recognizing this new template or new energy, and we're welcoming it to have an effect on our well-being.
Okay. And how often should I be looking for the crop circles I'm looking on Facebook. How often should I do that?
He says at this point you have enough to begin with and that he doesn't want you to look for any more. So with the ones that you've already printed out, just stack them according to how you feel like you would want to look at them. So I don't know how many you have, but say hypothetically you have 20 pictures of crop circles. He says put them in order, top down, to which one would you want to gaze at first. And he says don't worry about what order you put them in, just put them in the order that feels fun and right to you. And then one a day is what you'll look at. And he says you should have a crop circle like journal where you record what your experience is with the crop circle. And ask yourself, do I feel this in my body? Do I feel a healing in my body? And then the next day, use another one. He says you don't need to spend more than a day off and on looking at the crop circle because they work in the timeline that Jesus worked in and other profound healers of that nature, where if there's going to be a healing that you can feel or see or sense, it'll happen right away. Now, you may get a subtle healing that you're not even aware is an issue in yourself, but that doesn't mean there's not a healing happening. But there also could be some days where you'll have a miraculous healing.
Okay. And besides healing, what other type of feelings will this bring out?
Well, he says you'll become more comfortable with yourself. He says you'll be more comfortable with yourself, and he says you'll become more ecstatic, meaning that the more you work with the gazing at the crop circles and the other instructions he gave, the more you're going to fill yourselves with ecstasy and joy, and the more that is there, the less room there is for disease or mental disruption or distractions. It's a great focusing tool, and it's a great intentional tool, and it opens the doorway to all kinds of magical realms where, again, magic and miracles can occur. He's also saying that he is very elated that anyone thought to talk to him or any ET about what the crop circles are all about. To his knowledge, people have been befuddled by them or baffled by them, but they haven't looked at them as a conscious structure that was sent by other conscious beings to assist us in our own evolution.
So as I'm looking at this crop circle, and now both Robin and I have the beads, so after each bead, should I say namaste and then move on to the next bead?
Yes.
While staring at the crop circle?
Yes.
And should I do this jointly with Robin?
No. Robin's going to heal at a different pace than you. He's saying that for me, the instruction would not be to look at a crop circle on a daily basis. He says I couldn't handle it. But for you, that's the instruction. And he says for Robin, what would be best is after you look at a crop circle, then you send her the picture and she will look at it, but she will look at it and work with it for a week, not a day.
So should I be sending Robin copies of the crop circles that I have looked at that day?
Yes. And just know she's going to kind of trail behind you because you're going to look at one a day. She's going to look at one a week.
Okay, so I will hold them.
Yes.
And send once a week. So I have a logbook. Ironically, I bought an extra logbook when I was at Myers the other day because school supplies were on sale. So I do have a separate logbook that I can use for this.
Okay, and he says the reason why Robin is going to take longer to repair is that she has gone out of her body so many times in this lifetime in particular to assess disruption in different timelines and fields, and she's done a lot of extraterrestrial battling, that she's far more injured energetically than you are, Ken. So the subtlety of the healings that I have, I may not even feel it in my body right away, but it's because I'm so damaged in other realms where I need help that I didn't even know I needed help.
What should Robin do to keep an even keel with her healing?
She needs to drink more water and she needs to rest more. We're going to alter her work schedule so that she will not be working as much as she has been. In the past, up until today, to be precise, when we could have this conversation, it was important for her to work at the pace that she was because we were under a timeline crunch to collapse certain timelines that have been resisting the evolution of the planet. And there were a lot of beings in those timelines who didn't want to give up those timelines, like a little 2-year-old that's throwing a tantrum. And so these issues have taken their toll, but they were very necessary for her and other light workers who were on assignment to care for that situation. And now those situations are resolved and the timelines are correcting themselves on their own. It's almost as if they're breathing on their own now instead of being in like intensive care. And so now she can be taken off duty, or like a Marine taken off the battlefield. She can, in a sense, retire and let herself recapitulate and retreat and heal from what she's been up to. We do know that there was a treaty that was signed in regards to interstellar communications with the human race and the planet. That structure is in place now, and that was a long time coming. So although you'll still see some disruption on the planet, you're going to see a termination of nuclear activity, as you've already started to see. There was some extraterrestrial participation in decisions that were made around ending nuclear systems from being created for warlike activity. As in anything, there is benevolent use of energy, and then there is malevolent use of energy. And what is happening on your planet now is people are becoming aware of the nuclear energy in ways that they had not been aware of before, and they are becoming aware of choosing to use it judiciously. Now, even though the humans who are coming to these conclusions cannot make decisions that affect nuclear programs in various countries, they actually can affect the collective consciousness, where then it can affect the quantum, and therefore it will end the nuclear warfare on your planet. Do you understand this, Ken?
Yes, I do.
Thank you for your participation.
Okay, now a question for to help Robin. How does Robin find a way to control the amount of readings and work that is scheduled when she does not do that, and also then the emergency readings that come in after the schedule is maybe full?
What we are going to do with Robin is give her permission, to give herself permission to say no. In the past, we have beckoned her, and her primary guide is Jesus, Yeshua, as you know, and he has summoned her to continue, and so therefore she has. But now the instruction shall be to halt, not to continue. So what she will be teaching people who are reaching out to her is that she listens to a higher calling, and if the higher calling instructs her to submit to going forward, she goes forward. If the higher calling ask her to submit and retreat, then that is also what she shall do. And that is what she is teaching the people who will ask for her assistance, is to listen more clearly to their own guidance and their own discernment about the activities they are involved in. Does this make sense to you, Ken?
Yes. And does it make sense to you, Robin?
I'm too much in channeling to go there. Okay. Can you ask me that question later?
Yes.
Okay.
I will. Okay. Is there anything else besides looking at these crop circles and doing the meditation with the beads that I should be doing?
Yes. BeNe is showing me that there is some kind of a diamond light structure that goes from like your chin down to your like pelvic bone area. And it's a third dimensional image, and it does spiral. Some of it spirals clockwise, some of it spirals counterclockwise, and then it hits a certain point and then it turns back around again. So you are very judiciously involved with cleansing your own system from participating in multiple extraterrestrial contacts that were off planet and on ship. And each one of them, you had a particular purpose and you fulfilled them all, including that which you have done with Robin, including what you have done with various meetings with the Intergalactic High Council. So now you're going through a detox of your own where some of the injury that occurred to you is being, first of all, cleaned out like the way you would clean out a wound with soap and water. This diamond instrument is cleaning your system out, particularly in the front of your body, as was discussed. And then that will be removed and another instrument will be placed inside of your body. At this time, we don't know what the configuration of that will be. It will depend on what your frequencies look like after the diamond light image has completed its task. Do you understand? Yes.
And follow-up question. The other day I read that the best way to, and it was referring to diamonds, is diamonds are formed when there's pressure.
Yes.
Just like kind of like the, in the ocean, those things that I could light up, I can't think, huh?
Do you mean pearls?
No, not pearls. What are they called? And they, because the ocean constantly is bombarding them or hitting them, that pressure causes them to change shape and to move along.
This
I wish I can think of what I'm trying to say.
Well, the diamonds that created the instrument that's presently in your body, these diamonds were created off planet, and they were created in between planets at various laboratories of collaboration between different star systems and stellar configurations. So they're actually not planetary diamonds. The interstellar diamonds are created in various ways, some of which is pressure, some of which is simply light. So BeNe's saying he appreciates how diamonds are creating on this planet, but these diamonds that are clearing you out are from other places because you've been traveling a lot in your dream time and you didn't even know. And so that's why this energy is here to help you with this matter.
Yes, and I do seem in the last 2 weeks to dream. The other morning, I wake up and go back to sleep, and I did have a dream, but could not remember the dream. But it did involve Robin. Okay.
Well, these dreams will become more conscious as we move along, both for you and Robin and other humans who are on the planet that you will be collaborating with. So there's going to be shared dreaming in the future.
And will I be consciously aware of this, or will it be more in my subconscious?
At this point, when this happens, it will be conscious. So you're being prepped for new opportunities, and you're being recalibrated for ones you've already completed.
Does this mean moving to a higher frequency?
Yes.
Is there a time of the day that is better for me to do the meditation?
Believe it or not, I'm hearing after you eat. So pick a time wherever you want after you eat and do the meditation. It will help your digestion, but it will also, because your body is kind of busy doing the digestion, it gives you an opportunity to access these higher energies, and then they'll be able to move into your field after you've been nourished.
And Robin and I are going to have the same beads. Should we be using those beads together?
No. Again, you're a little bit more advanced than Robin right now in this regard. You're healthier in your multidimensional self and in your multidimensional bodies than Robin is. And so your quickening is going to happen differently than her.
Okay, that makes sense, because you're under constant bombardment by outside influences where I don't have that.
Yes, you are a steady stream of consciousness and support for her and others that you do not even know yet, that are benefiting from the steadiness of your character and your principled, disciplined choices to be in harmony with your highest octaves.
My channeling seems to come from 3 different places. One is sometimes while I'm just watching TV, I'll think of something and then it will appear on TV. The second is what I call auto-channeling, where just all of a sudden I get all these thoughts and I just write them down. And the third connection has been going on the internet and finding something that clicks.
BeNe says, yeah, those are all excellent ways, BeNe says. He says the one you're the most superb at is auto-channeling, that when you do that, you have a direct link to wherever your source is, that you're getting information. And the others, you're being prompted and you're collaborating and you do have the same result. But when you're auto-channeling, it's the clearest signal.
Okay. And am I recognizing these things and stopping at them to either read, and then I'm printing them out if I think, like there's a couple that have been extremely long, and rather than read them at the minute, I've got probably 20 pages printed out from the last couple of days of stuff that I found that seems to be related to what is currently going on. And then I read them later.
BeNe says you're very good at knowing when you can be fully present to information. And that's part of your gift of your cellular structure, is you're able to recognize that something could be a useful tool, but not actually delve more deeply into it until you can give it your full presence. That is a remarkable skill that you have that most humans do not have. If they see something, they just jump on it, and then they can't remember the textual wisdom that they received, and so then they just keep jumping from one thing to the other. But in your case, you have harmony with your presence, and you bring that to what you are discerning. That makes you a captive audience for different beings who wish to communicate through you, but it also is of great assistance to those who need you to partake of the information before it's shared again. So what BeNe's saying, it's almost like you're like a food tester, right? You test stuff out before you share it, whereas other people don't test it, they just share it, and if it's poison, then everybody's poisoned. But if you're looking at it when you have full presence and you have a rapport with it and it clicks things with you, when you share it, it's very nourishing on many, many levels to people. And you brought that to the book that you wrote, We're Not Alone, and Here's the Proof. And people aren't used to that. So as people move more fully into understanding the power of the presence, then they're going to be even more attracted to your book, because they're going to understand what octave of energy it was that you held when you wrote it. Do you understand that?
Yes. Which leads me to another question. I just, coming up on 1 year since the book was published, and I have, besides the best-selling effort, I've sold 100 books. Is there a way for me to get a bigger audience, or should I just let that flow the way it's going?
BeNe says that he would like you to learn how to post on your YouTube channel. He says that for you to go on live whenever you felt like it, like not have a podcast so much, but something that is a brief awareness. So say, for example, you learn how to post live up on YouTube, then you would say something like, okay, today I'm looking at a crop circle that was dated on such and such a date, and my guidance is to sit with it this way, and I did, and here's what I experienced. So BeNe's saying for you to give yourself permission to have your own notoriety, your own following, because it is your presence that is the magnet for everything. You're the communicator, you're the leader, you're the teacher, you're the role model of presence. And so he's suggesting that you use the Believe Me movement YouTube channel for you to have your own following and notoriety, that it has been lovely that you've given that platform to others who you wanted to help, but now you're being asked to help in a different way, which is for yourself to be there, for yourself to be Ken, as Ken, sharing, what it is you're experiencing. So he's also saying, so say, for example, you're watching a show like Skinwalker, and you pop on your YouTube and you just do a quick video saying, okay, I just watched Skinwalker with Travis or whoever the guy is, and you just share whatever your experience was, because you're very this is what BeNe's saying, you're very provocative, you think in a unique way, and you have a lot of presence. And so he's saying that your modality of marketing yourself needs to be yourself, not something else at this time.
Okay. It may take a while for me to be able to connect and post on YouTube, because I do need a learning process that I have to go through. And in the meantime, I do know how to post on Facebook. Is that a temporary good thing to do until I'm able to acquire the knowledge that's needed to post on YouTube?
Yes, he says use the Believe Me movement group page to get a following. He says you are connected to your birth star now, the birth star meaning where your own original consciousness came from, and that you have a lot more light and a lot more to offer than you realize, and it's time for you to step into sharing the uniqueness of who you are. BeNe says you underestimate yourself, that you think, oh, I'm just this guy living in Michigan, la la la, and he says that's not true. You know better now. After you spent a year with Robin, you have a much better understanding and perception of who you are and what you came to do. And there was a reason why you participated in the things you've been participating in, and now it's important for you to become vocal.
Okay.
So he's also saying that at the same time we're asking Robin to step back and step down, we're asking you to go public. So it's like a completely different swing for a while.
Okay. And post them as I feel the need to post something.
Yes,
and then I
always
start to develop like following off of people that relate to what I'm saying.
Yes, and he always, BeNe's saying one of the most crucial things is when you do it, you want to be fully present. That's your specialty. And so when you feel guided to do a sharing on the Believe Me Movement group or on the Believe Me Movement YouTube channel that is yours now, just do it when you're guided, because that's part of teaching people about presence.
Okay. Robin, do you want to ask BeNe anything?
I might. Let me just see here. So BeNe, what you're telling Ken and I about crop circles, that they're here to activate us and to work with the templates of our bodies in more sophisticated ways, is that true for everybody? He's saying yes. So I don't know. I'm really curious, BeNe, if other people have figured that out. And he says probably, but they don't believe it, and then they don't do anything, which is why we need Ken to show them the way.
In looking at the crop circle, is there certain symbols that are symbolic that I should be a heightened awareness of? A lot of
Yes.
things, of course, are in circles or in spears.
He says if you see the infinity symbol, that's the symbol that connects twin flames, lover's heart to lover's heart. And that is an extra expertise of yours. So that would be something if you see that. And now he's like kind of bowing out. So I think he's done for now, or he thinks we're done or something.
Yes.
So thank you very much, BeNe. And there has been one other ET that's tried to break into the conversation. And, you and I had a little bit of a talk with him, I think, last week. And I'm not savvy at channeling him. And I'm not sure why he's trying to come in right now. So maybe we can just say to this being, we'll do another podcast if, in fact, Ken and I decide to let that being come through. But for now, let's just end this particular show. And with that, I'd like to say that if you like what's going on, please do follow the group on Facebook, the Believe Me Movement, and also like and subscribe to the Believe Me Movement YouTube channel. And there's lots of material on there right now, but also stay tuned for when Ken starts sharing things both on YouTube and in the group. And in the meantime, you can purchase his book called We're Not Alone and Here's the Proof by Ken Sylvester. You can get it on Amazon or wherever you purchase your books. So, and I do have books, but right now this is the only book we need to share with you, because I actually did contribute a little bit to Ken's book. So if you read it, you're going to find out what that is. I'm not going to tell you. It's a downright tease. So get the book and then you'll know. All right, Ken.
Is it ask BeNe one more question?
He's kind of walking away. Go ahead and ask it, and let's see if he'll answer.
This other trying to contact, is this someone that Robin should and can say no to?
Yes, we should say no to. Thank you for asking that question, Ken.
That's what I was feeling, and I have ever since we've tried, and his first time he came up. So I'm glad to confirm.
And there's the strength that you have. I'm such an open book. When I'm open, I can't even figure out what's what. You think you can offer up something that is different than what I offer up. And that's what is really needed in the world today, is that discernment that you just demonstrated. So for today's show, pay attention, be discerning, and get Ken's book. Over and out.
Over and out.